After a disappointing first half and a coaching change, has Cole Caufield finally arrived? I'll give you my answer to that question, plus some interesting Habs news, including a little on the rebuild. That's Jeff Gorton's thoughts on that, and possible Habs keep and move lists. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. So, before we get to all that, please give me your thoughts on the question by leaving me a comment in the comment section. Thank you very much. We're doing this completely live. I've got a lot of things that move around, all that. You're going to get all the mistakes too. So, let's get right into it. And we're going to start off with the big question of the day. Has Cole Caufield finally arrived? After posting 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points in 10 regular season games and going 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in 20 playoff games last season, and not yet a rookie at that point, Caufield's 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points in 30 games under coach Dom was extremely disappointing, to say the least. Since the hiring of coach Marty St. Louis, the shackles of coach Dom have been removed and Caufield has been set free. Set me free, set me free. He's been set free to create offense and drive the net, which he's doing. In the last 4 games under Coach Marty, Caufield has exploded with 5 goals. Yeah, I said 5 goals. That's in 4 games. One was called back because of an offside by Tyler Toffoli, but he still scored it. It still, in my mind, counts as the skill and all the talent coming back. But he's got 4 goals in the 4 games. He's gone from looking snake bit and unsure to looking dangerous on virtually every shift. And Coach Marty is giving him the ice time to get those shifts in. He's being given the ice time, the line mates in Suzuki and Anderson, and the freedom to use his talents as a dangerous sniper. He goes into the corner or the dirty areas almost fearlessly and has so far come out a winner once given the freedom to create. He may be small at 5'8", 5'7", or 5'8", or 5'9", but that's depending on who you ask, and 170 pounds, but this kid plays big. He plays very big. He has succeeded at every level despite his lack of size. And his story is so similar to his new coach. He idolized Marty growing up, that the choice of Marty St. Louis as head coach might turn out to be the team of Gorton and Hughes's best move when we look back at their time here. My predictions for Caufield's career are back on track now. And I suspect we may see an exciting offense-filled ending to this so far worst season ever for the Montreal Canadiens. I suspect the line of Suzuki, Caufield, and Anderson will lift us out of our seats often and make this unbearable season a lot more fun to watch. If you ask me now, has Caufield finally arrived? My answer is yes. I think he has. All right, let's move off to the news portion of this video. So we're going to start off with the news that Montreal has hired Nick Bobrov and Vinnie Lecavalier, my cousin Vinnie, to join the hockey ops department for Vinnie Lecavalier. And for Nick Bobrov, he will be the director, the co-director of amateur scouting. And I believe he'll be concentrating in Europe, so the European section of that. Vinny will be a special advisor to hockey ops. He'll be still living in Miami. From what I understand, he'll be coming to Montreal on and off through the season, working with players, talking and opening lines of communication with players, and keeping communication with the management, with Hughes, especially so when he sees things or whatever, however that works out. But he will still be in Miami and maybe doing a little scouting down there as well. Bobrov worked with Gorton before. Gorton. with the Bruins and the Rangers, and he was director of European scouting then. And as we know, Vinnie Lecavalier was his agent was Kent Hughes when he was a player. So there's those connections there. Let's see. Next up, I wanted to run this. Next up is Paul Byron. It was his 500th career game against St. Louis, and everybody was hoping for him to score a goal. And guess what he did? He scored a goal. He scored a goal in his 500th NHL game. So that's Paulie Walnuts, as I like to call him. It's a huge milestone for him. I know he was saying that he kind of didn't think he didn't know if he'd ever be in the NHL, and he never would have thought he'd be here at 500 games with the Montreal Canadiens. So just congrats to Paulie Walnuts, and it was good to see him get the opening goal in the game, especially. Kind of made it even more special. Next up is the Habs, and I don't have a picture for this. Goalie Michael McNiven back to Laval. Now, we know that they got Andrew Hammond. They traded for him. So you're like wondering why they're announcing this now after they had sent Caden Primo back already, is that McNiven was injured. And I imagine he just is healthy now. So they send him back to Laval to back up Primo. So they're both there. And we've got Hammond and Montembeault here. So, yeah. So Michael McNiven, of course, not getting a shot. Again, didn't really get much of a shot while he had some opportunity, you would have thought, with everything going on. But there you go. Next up, Coach Marty on his very first win as a Montreal Canadiens coach and as an NHL coach, as a coach higher than Pee Wee level. So he says, I'm happy to get my first win, but I'm even more happy with the way we did it. The process guys are buying into. We're working hard physically, but more importantly, mentally. We'll keep improving because I have a lot of things I want to introduce gradually. He also said that he was more excited for his dad, who's a diehard Habs fan all his life, and he was more excited for his dad more than him getting that first win. So really nice to see a little heartwarming there too. And I really like this guy, so I've got nothing negative to say about Marty. If you do, let me know in the comment section what you think of Marty St. Louis so far after 4 games. I know it's not a lot to judge him by yet, but I like the signs that I'm seeing like right away. And I think it's going to be really good. And I think he'll be here for my hot take. Marty St. Louis is going to be the coach for a few years, hopefully a long time. Next up is the Jeff Gorton quote. So Jeff Gorton was interviewed on TSN 690, I do believe. So we're going to get into, where's that now? Here it is. I know it was Marty. No, it was Marty Engels. I think that was a singer when I was a kid. So it was Eric Engels interviewed Jeff Gorton. And it's a long interview. I'm going to try to remember to put the link so you can read it if you'd like in the description. I might forget, but I'm going to try to remember. I pulled this out because I think it's really important. It says what's going to happen here in a rebuild, I think. As for changes coming on the ice, Gorton said there will be many, but added he's not intending to strip the roster down to the screws. I came to a team that just went to the Stanley Cup final. So obviously there's some really good players, he said. And it's a weird set of circumstances that have happened and piled up this year, and I totally get that. I don't think we're in a position where we just blow everybody out of here and start over, because that's unrealistic. You have a lot of players that are good players that for whatever reason, whether it's injuries or COVID, just hasn't been up to their standards. What's that tell you? That their value is probably a little lower than it usually is. To trade everybody at a lesser value than they really are, even though they have some term left, I don't think we'll do that. I think what we do and what we're doing is we're gauging the value of our players. Figure out, okay, is that worth it now? Or is it worth it maybe later? Right now, we're in that feeling out transition phase of getting the value of everybody in our organization. That's a natural thing that you do anyway. But yeah, we're not going to go scorched earth here and completely blow up everything. We have good players here. We just have to identify which ones to move forward with. I think that, we've been waiting for them to announce, is it a rebuild, a reset, a retool? And they kind of have been avoiding doing that. If you ask me, they just announced it right there. It is a rebuild, but he's not blowing it up and then trying to fit it all back together. I've said this before. Guys will move at the trade deadline, but not everybody. Some guys will move in this offseason. Some guys will move next trade deadline or during the season. And in the next offseason, it's going to take a little bit of time to make all the changes they need to make or want to make to complete the rebuild, to feel that they've completed it. So I think that signals to the people thinking that, oh, everybody's going to be gone. Well, who's going to still be here to play? Don't worry about it. They're not doing that. And when I had said that Coach Dom, one of the reasons they moved him or fired him was he was hurting the value of these players that they want to move, and he just confirmed it right there. So there you go. Congrats to me. No, I think a lot of people knew that. It's not just that I came up with that. All right, next. And we're getting down to the wire. Corey Sheneman. So Corey Sheneman is the latest Hab, and I don't mean to laugh, to enter NHL's COVID protocol. So when I wrote this, I asked, so does this mean Chara plays? And then it was answered by Coach Marty. Martin St. Louis thinks Chara will return tomorrow. And I do believe that even after that, I gathered that, I think I saw where it's almost confirmed or is confirmed that he'll be in the lineup tomorrow. Unless at the last minute they decide to call somebody else up or whatever. I don't know what their options are. So we'll have to see. But it looks like Chara will be back in the lineup tomorrow. Yes, we're Saturday today. Next item up, and I don't have a pick for this, is the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar and Grimace will start tomorrow versus New York Islanders. And Monty will start versus the Maple Leafs, is what I thought. In the St. Louis game, we were talking about it, and I figured, yeah, I mean, you're going to start Hammond against the Islanders, who are also not a great team this year, and you're going to put Monty in there against the Leafs on Monday. It's a back-to-back situation, so that's how it's going to work out. It is Hammond's debut start as a Hab. Everybody's been excited to see him, and let's see how he does against the Islanders. And then, finally, Pierre LeBrun told TSN 690, that's the local TSN radio station here in Montreal, about a Habs Keep and Move list, or two lists, Habs Keep and Move lists. And this, I think, I got from Spectre's Hockey Online. Okay, so on Wednesday, NHL insider Pierre LeBrun told TSN 690 the Canadiens have a list of players they wish to move and a list of those they want to keep. He believes, that's LeBrun, believes Brendan Gallagher and Josh Anderson are on the do not move list because the team needs competitive players even when undergoing a rebuild. And this is what I thought. I was sure that Anderson, now Gally, I did say they could. I could see them keeping him. It's going to be hard to move that big contract. So maybe they are planning to keep him at least for a little while. And Anderson, I think everybody agreed Anderson's not going anywhere. So kind of confirmed, but not confirmed 100% yet. Mike Hoffman and Jonathan Drouin. Can I yet go, yay? Does that mean? Mike Hoffman, Jonathan Drouin, and it's surprising for me, Christian Dvorak and Arturi Lehkonen. Not a surprise. There's a lot of interest in Lehkonen. They're going to get something good back for him. So are on the would like to move list. I hear everybody going, Jonathan Drouin's on the, yeah, I hear that. I know I hear it somewhere out there. But this doesn't automatically mean that they'll be traded. Got to throw a wrench in the gears there. Someone got to throw a wrench there at the end. LeBrun also believes the Canadiens covet some of the New York Rangers prospects, while the Habs have some players to fill the Rangers' needs. With 12 picks already in this year's draft, the Canadiens could prefer returns of prospects over draft picks, which I don't think prefer. I think they'll take some prospects, but I think they want draft picks for certain players, high ones. I don't think you're trading Sherrod or Lehkonen to get prospects. I really don't. Canadiens VP of Hockey Operations Jeff Gorton was the Rangers general manager until last May, as we all know. Most of their current prospects were chosen by him, so it's not surprising he wouldn't mind landing one or two of them. Whether or not it'd be successful and which ones he might get remains to be seen. So, Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, by the way, about the Cole Caufield thing, especially. I would really like to know that. And let's see. I'm supposed to it says here to play this. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. Please leave a comment in the comment section and check out that video that's up there over there in the corner.